New blessings, new lessons, new money. Welcome to another episode of the Raising Vibes at the Treehouse Podcast. Now, today we are designing life goals that actually work for you. So many people try to sway you into self-help goals and books that aren't exactly one size fits all. So on this episode, I'm going to give you an open mind on how to design life goals that best apply to you and your future. Let's dive in. Goals look differently for everyone. We have to be okay with it. Living in a country that has pointed people in the same direction has been detrimental to the way society functions as a whole. We were under the impression that going to college, getting a good job, and having kids in our mid-30s would lead to a lifetime of success and happiness. Based on the current economic data and social unrest we're seeing, it appears that the one-size-fits-all goal is slowly cracking at the seams. Guidance counselors, following the crowd, and glamorizing degrees have caused a lot of people to start living their lives off on the wrong foot. Loaded up with student debt, a piece of paper that doesn't get them the prestigious job that they were hoping for, and an education that taught them what to think but not how to think. This is majority of our working class right now, and we are slowly but surely seeing the consequences of this one-sided goal that was bestowed upon the youth in America. We have the opportunity to craft up our own goals and pass on this reformed way of thinking to the next generation. I'm your host, Lette Weaver, and I truly care about your mental well-being. We can all be positive lights in this world around us, and my goal with this episode is to open new doors of thoughts and truths that lead to transformation. I thank you for joining me, and before we move forward, I gotta ask you these important questions today. Have you ever struggled to come up with goals that felt unique to your personality? Have you felt like you've gone with the crowd and chased things that weren't aligned with your inner passions? Have you given up on writing down your goals, or better yet, even thinking about them? Yeah? Well, you, me, us, let's talk. Some of the greatest minds of our time have done everything in their power to achieve the goals that were written on the paper in front of them. Some are short-term goals, some are long-term goals, and my personal favorite, some are life goals. In the age of instant gratification and so many people willing to help lift us up out of tough situations, you have to ask yourself, is goal right and dead? Is the pursuit of achieving goals even desirable anymore? What is it that we really want as a people? In a nation so obsessed with fame and fortune, it's as if the majority of people all want the same thing. Idolize celebrities and don't even know who the modern day philosophers are anymore. We tune into motivational speakers and let their words go over our heads while failing to take action in our daily lives to reach the things that we long for in our hearts of hearts. It's possible to design life goals that actually work to benefit you and you alone. A wise man named Napoleon Hill once said, "A goal is just a dream with a deadline." The truth in this quote lives on in this postmodern world. Back in the day, we had a lot of Americans with vision boards up in their offices, and you'd see short-term and long-term goals plastered in black ink as they worked tirelessly to achieve them. With the age of social media, distractions, entertainment, and a government that passed out checks for the past 2 years, we are seeing a lot of people that are struggling to find the desire to work. With inflation being so high, debt being the driving force of the economy, and a system that seems to be breaking, it's safe to say that I understand. But man, for real, all that is just noise at this point. I'm gonna tell you this. Inspire to be different. Be the anomaly. Be the one that works towards something that is specific to you. There are steps you can take that will lead you on the path that you are best meant to walk on. One of my biggest goals is brick by brick. That represents the philosophy of day in and day out. Work towards the big goal that you're chasing. Each episode that you've heard me do is another brick to my ultimate goal of a solidified show that has led people to transform their lives in a positive way. This brick by brick mentality comes with a lot of short-term goals that all points to the long-term goal. Some people may write them down. Some people will tell other people. Some people just wake up and think about their goal day in and day out. Nobody is going to achieve your goals for you, and that's what's most uplifting about having goals. It puts full responsibility on you, and it has you moving in the direction of checking those goals off your list with pride. There's a verse in the Bible that reflects this truth. It says, faith without works is dead. This essentially means you got to put in the work to reflect the faith you have. You can't be sitting at the house asking God for a job if you're not willing to put in that work. To go ahead, start filling out applications, shaking some hands, and asking around for work. Your faith will sustain you in your pursuit, but the work is a must. This same truth exists in goal writing. You have to be willing to work towards the goals, or they may never come to pass. Now it's time for our fan favorite part of the show. A segment that gives you practical tips and advice on how to design life goals that actually work. When you aren't clear on your life goals, you lack direction in life, and oftentimes you end up feeling lost. Too many people fail to set clear life goals in a way that provides them with this direction. Fortunately, we have found a strategy based on the world's most successful individuals and high performers. SMART goals are the way to remember how to get the best results on your pursuit. Now, SMART goals, they're adopted by a lot of successful individuals. It helps them turn vague goals into actionable steps towards success. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's unpack them all. Specific. Now, a goal like, I want to live healthier, that's a poorly defined goal. It's nowhere near specific enough. Now, is my goal to up my exercise game? Am I looking to start eating a healthier diet? Because with me just saying I want to live healthier, those questions have been left unanswered. The value of the goal is in the details. Who is involved in the goal? What is going to be the target outcome? When are you going to work on a goal? Why is this goal important, and how are you going to achieve it? Address as many details as possible in order to make your life goals specific enough to provide you with true direction. Measurable. Once you've got a specific goal, your next step is to determine how you're going to measure it. Are you going to track the time you spend exercising every day? Perhaps you prefer to track your calorie intake versus your calories burned. Whatever you decide is fine. All that matters is that you have a way to track and measure your progress towards your life goals. Attainable. There is no point in setting a goal that is so outrageous that you will never be able to achieve it. The best way to set an attainable life goal is to look at your past history and evaluate trends in your behavior. Is there any logical path that could lead you from where you were and where you are now to the life goal you've outlined? If the answer is no, then maybe consider scaling this back a bit. Make sure your life goals challenge and push you, but also make sure they're obtainable. Relevant. Make sure your life goals are relevant to what you actually want to achieve in this life. It's so important for you to align your life goals with your life values and then begin building a lifestyle around those things. It's the best way to reach personal happiness, success, and fulfillment. Remember, don't chase the crowd, just be your most authentic self in this process. Last but not least, time bound. You must ensure that you have a time constraint on your life goals. This will motivate you to achieve that life goal by a certain time. If you miss a deadline, however, it's going to signal that you either need to reevaluate your desire to achieve that life goal or the plan that you have in place. It's worth mentioning to not be hard on yourself if you don't obtain your desired timetable. Just use that as fuel to fire you up to complete it on the next go round. Now, once you have these mastered, you can start writing down your goals, creating action plans, taking action, and then giving progress reviews on how you're going on the goals you've created. This is a fun way to achieve greatness, and not many people are able to complete their goal list. New Year's resolutions, they eventually lose steam, but well-designed life goals can be a game changer to who you are and what you accomplish going forward. I conclude this with, it's not easy to achieve the things that we want in life. It takes time, discipline, and dedication. The best things in life aren't always the easiest, and we have to truly work towards the greatness that we hope to reach. I hope that this episode inspired you to think bigger and to put your goals down on paper and put into action. I'm here to bring you closer to the real you and help you be the best version of yourself. Sometimes we just need a little push, and this show will do everything in its power to keep being that voice of truth for you in a time such as this. I personally encourage you to see yourself as a master of your own destiny. We all can make changes that better our lives, and we have to be willing to put in the work to get there. Do you want success? Do you want to achieve your goals? Manifest it and think of how you're going to get there and what it looks like when you are there. Speak positive words to yourself and to the others around you. Be a light, bro. The darkness hates the light, and the good news is the light will attract more light. Good vibes bring out more good vibes, and as you might have heard, this is Raising Vibes at the Treehouse, and I hope you enjoyed vibing with me today. Take what you learned and use the truths that hit home to transform the way you think. Listen, I'm super grateful you decided to join me today, and I hope you consider subscribing to the show and even sharing it with some friends who could use a positive message to start or finish their week. This podcast is free and it only costs a share. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch a vibe with you next week.